Well, happy Monday, and welcome here to another edition of Husker Online. Headline: Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple back after the Super Bowl, and we're brought to you by Sartor Hamann Jewelers as our presenting sponsor. But where did you watch the game at, Mr. Sip?
Greg's, Missing Tooth Greg's garage. We had a taco bar. It was good.
We had a taco bar too at our house. We made.
You had some kind of steak,
outside skirt meat.
Yeah, we had El Pastor meat. It was pretty good. I had a good soft shell taco. I just had some Cokes.
Craniums.
No, Coke. I had a bottle of Coke. It was good. I frankly enjoyed the game. I heard a lot of people say it was boring. I wasn't looking forward to the game. Blah blah blah. I thought it was good. The
blitzing was amazing. How
Seattle
much free. Well, both teams were getting kind of free rushers at the quarterback, even in Seattle. But they did a good job of avoiding those pressures.
Even Seattle, they were the ones who really.
Well, no, I said even New England was getting pressure.
Yeah.
On Seattle.
Oh,
and they were doing a good job of just stepping up and getting away from him. But
see who number 21 was, right?
Who
for Seattle? Devon Weatherspoon, remember him at Illinois, first round pick. He was a dude coming.
A lot of Big Ten guys in that game.
Devon Weatherspoon was a dude coming off the edge. He's a blitzer, man. I mean, he's a blitzing corner. He has a knack. He has a knack now.
But
Devon Weatherspoon.
Good Super Bowl. Now we'll turn the page officially into spring football draft season talk. But let's set the stage here. Headline number one: Nebraska adds Tyler Yelk to fill out Rob Aurich's defensive staff, and Yelk will be the third hire Aurich will have on the staff. Roy Manning will coach the edges, Yelk the safeties, Corey Brown the D-line. And this is unique about what Matt Rule has done with this hire of Rob Aurich, where Aurich has brought in three full-time coaches, where Tony White didn't have any full-time bodies that came with him, so to speak. He had some analysts and behind-the-scenes people, and then obviously last year they didn't have that either.
No, it's really. I mean, it can be. I mean, it should be helpful to have a coach on all three levels that understands the 4-2-5. Aurich is implementing a system. We've seen this. One good thing about covering this program's demise is we've seen a lot of coaches come through here. Sean, you're very familiar with a new defense. You are very familiar with a new defensive coordinator coming in and having to implement a system. And you have heard defensive coordinators talk about that challenge. I can remember sitting in Eric Frost's.
Chenander.
I wanted to call him Chenoweth.
I wish you would have.
Chenander's office, and him explaining to me the challenge of implementing his scheme. And it was every day. I mean, you have to have guys that people have to learn the language in the building. It can be pretty challenging, but to have those guys on all three levels helps. It also probably helps more, though, honestly, to have players. Now he's got a couple coming in, Chambliss, right? And McDougal. That'll help too. It almost helps more, Sean, to have players.
Yeah, you think back to like when Bo Pelini came in 2003, he didn't have any coaches that came with him other than Carl, who was a GA at that point. He wasn't even a full-time staff guy. But what did Bo have in 2003?
What?
Players.
That helps.
Like,
yeah, what I meant is players to help with the teaching process. But you're right. If you have players, Sean, if you had players like that, me and you could have coached the defense. That might be a stretch, actually, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you go back
on that team.
You look at that Nebraska defense: Titus Adams, Ryan Bingham, Stu Bradley,
Demario Williams,
Daniel Bullocks, Josh Bullocks.
How about Demario Williams?
Fabian Washington, Trevor Johnson. All those guys were draft picks and played in the NFL. Need I say more? Jay Moore was a bench guy at that point still. Bo Ruud was a bench guy. Barrett Ruud was on that defense.
Yeah, don't forget Barrett Ruud, the all-time leading tackler for Nebraska, right?
Like TJ Hollowell on like Bo's first defense was like a lower level starter, and he'd be a good player on Nebraska's defense now.
These conversations are extremely informative in a bad way for Nebraska.
Okay, here's their starting. Like when Bo Pelini transitioned here with no coaches that came with him as a first-time coordinator, his DNs were Bernard Thomas and Titus Adams, Ryan Bingham, Lakeven Smith, Brandon Teamer, Trevor Johnson, and Adam Carricker. And you had Patrick Kabongo. Your linebackers in 03, DeMario, Barrett, TJ Hollowell.
Oh, stop right there. You had Barrett and DeMario Williams. And TJ was a good player.
And Ira Cooper. And then your corners were Josh Bullock's NFL, or safeties, Josh Bullock's NFL, Jarrell Pippin's NFL, Daniel Bullock's NFL. Shane Siegel was a solid guy. Your corners were Fabian Washington, Lornell McPherson, Pat Ricketts.
Yeah. That's why Bo wanted the job.
I mean, that was and they went on to, the players bought in, and it's a different deal now. They don't have that kind of pro talent.
No, that's what I mean, informative. That is incredibly important to impart to people. It is. Because that team was good. That wasn't a great team. It was very good.
From 7-7 to 10-3.
Yeah, they were good. 10-3 is good. That's not Georgia. It's not Ohio State, but it's good. It's good. And they don't have that now, my friend.
It's just a different game of football. I mean, as far as just
talent, the
way the rosters are built and how things are developed. But yeah, the Aurich, though, with the coaches that he has in, and plus Rob Aurich will work with the linebackers too.
Yeah, he's going to share linebacking duties, coaching duties with Rob Dvorak, who's a holdover. But this was, I give Matt Rule credit for moving quickly to get Yelk in here. It happened within a few days of the departure of Miles Taylor. And now you have a guy whose resume stacks up pretty well with Miles Taylor's, honestly. And as you mentioned, he's been with Aurich at Idaho in 2022.
And they were both at South Dakota, but actually never worked there together.
No, Yelk came in right after Aurich, right?
And then he followed him and went to Idaho later on.
Yeah. So I like it. And I think there's a lot of value in Tyler Yelk spending 3 seasons with the Eagles championship team. It's a championship level organization. They won the championship while he was there. I think that means a lot I really do. I think it means a lot to be in that environment every day and see exactly what it takes.
And I think, there's a time in college football, you're always like, what kind of recruiter is this guy or that guy? Yes, that's important. But now you have people that kind of run that.
Yeah.
So you need ball coaches.
100. It's different. I'm glad you brought that up because we kind of, maybe between me and you, take those conversations for granted, but people need to hear that. It's changed. It's different. It's different than when George Darlington was coaching the DBs, but he was this outstanding recruiter that would go out to California and get talent. Don't need that as much now.
Well, now, I mean, who the recruiters are on the staff. It's Keith Williams,
Barthel.
It's EJ Barthel to an extent. It's Mosey.
Yep.
And then Addison Williams. I mean, those are kind of the 4. And I think Jeep Wade's going to be in that category with on the O line.
Yeah.
But those 4 or 5 guys kind of handle a lion's share of the recruiting, where the other guys are going to be involved. But to me, it's more important to get the football part right.
You think Jeep Wade's that kind of recruiter?
Just from what we've seen early and his approach, it's way
different.
Raiola just had a different style.
Jeep Wade, think about it, who his brother is. Will Wade, dynamic recruiter. I mean, look what North Carolina State's doing in basketball. What is Will Wade? He's a recruiter. That's what he is. He's a good coach, obviously. But Jeep's brother is Will Wade. Those guys are, I think, probably persuasive recruiters.
How great of a column would it be to sit down with Jeep and Will?
That'd be incredible. I don't know that it can happen, but
maybe if you're like,
there's a lot of restrictions in our business now. Have you noticed that?
Maybe if you're Tom Rinaldi, you get that column, but
maybe. Anywho, great. I'd say really strong move by Matt Rule. I mean, getting a guy in here that quick. And, he kind of had to, in a way. February 21 is the start of spring ball.
And my understanding of Miles Taylor is the Ravens made a run at him earlier, and then they came back at him again. So it was a battle.
See, and you can spin that positive. I know there's a lot of negative talk surrounding Nebraska football right now, but Nebraska had a guy in Miles Taylor that an NFL team came after twice. They liked him that much. And then Nebraska responds by going and getting a guy with a pretty impressive resume. So I don't know. It's not a bad week.
The only thing I would ask is, like, if they gave him more money, would he have stayed, or was he gone no matter what?
Miles Taylor?
Yes.
That's probably a price. Everybody has one, right? I don't know. He gets some stability.
The one thing that does jump out about the 3 Aurich hires is they're like the lowest paid guys.
Right.
Corey Brown, Roy Manning, and we don't know what Yelk's pay is going to be. But they're definitely the low men on like the 17-man payroll. So that is something that jumps out. But I think it speaks to, you can be more flexible. When Matt Rule first built his staff, when you can only have 10 assistants, there's a little bit more locked in on who could be in those roles. Now you can have more people. You just pay them a little bit less, probably.
As far as Miles Taylor goes, some of those guys are just chasing stability a little bit. And he's going to a Baltimore Ravens team that just hired a new head coach. So that head coach is going to have a little bit of a runway as long as he just doesn't totally F it up, right?
Well, they got a quarterback in Baltimore. So I think if you're taking an NFL job and you knew they had a quarterback, like, your chances of survival are pretty good.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I'm telling you, Sean, I've covered these guys for a long, long time. A lot of them are just chasing that stability. Get me 3 more years. Get me 4 more years. You know, that's 4 more years at 300, 400,000. That's pretty good. You know, so, but, you know, like I said, Nebraska responded really well.
All right. Well,
headline 2.
Before we head on to headline 2, Husker Online Headlines brought to you by the presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann. Make Sartor Hamann your first step for all things jewelry. The best service, selection, and quality from our patented Heartland diamonds with extra facets, so bright that you can see it across the room, to fine watches from around the world. Award-winning in-house goldsmith Sartor Hamann has been voted the best of Nebraska for decades. Don't mess around with the rest. Start and finish with the best. For online orders, put in Husker Online in the code for an additional 10% off non-sale items. 121 years old, 4 generations, when only the best will do. Sartor Hamann Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island, worldwide at SartorHamann.com. All right, well, let's take it now to headline number 2, and we're pleased to be joined by one of Nebraska's more notable newcomer additions from South Carolina, originally a Maryland native, offensive lineman Tree Babalade, joining us here on Husker Online Headlines. Well, Tree, first of all, thanks for the time. Welcome to Nebraska. I'm sure for all you guys transferring, it's an adjustment, just kind of moving to a new place. How's the transition gone for you, getting used to life in Nebraska?
It's been good. It's been nice. The weather is a little cold, you know, compared to South Carolina and stuff, but it's been good. Everything nice.
It's warm today. It's like in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like South Carolina here now.
Definitely. I thought something was going on.
All right. There's always a very simple question to ask someone like you in this sort of situation. Why did you pick Nebraska out of the portal?
I really say one, it was, of course, just me and head coach Matt Rule and all that. He was pretty good. Then O-line coach, you know, already built a connection with Teasley and Coach Wade, just knowing all of them. It was just a perfect time. Took a visit with my mom and uncle, and I was just like, I really like it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Tree, where else did you visit in the portal, and who were some of the major other suitors besides Nebraska?
Nah, it was with Nebraska. I visited. There was other schools I was supposed to, but school's about to start, and I was like, I don't have enough time.
So you closed it down after one visit?
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular? How much? Well, let me ask you this. Lonnie Teasley came here right before you. How much was Lonnie Teasley's presence a factor in you coming here?
I'll say it was a lot. I'll say just because of the relationship I built with him since, you know, coming into college, and he was my first O-line coach. And just when I found out he got the job in Nebraska, I'm like, oh, Nebraska. I'm like, isn't it cold down there? I was like, I didn't know, you know, he wanted to try it out. So I took the visit and I seen it and I was like, why not? It's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, and you're with a group of veterans like Elijah Pritchett and Justin Evans, and then you came in with Paul Mbanga and Brennan Black. I mean, what is the kind of chemistry like with you guys, where there's a couple of veterans that have been here, then there's 3 of you that came in as transfers?
It's been great. Just talked to all the guys, Justin and Elijah and all of them. This has been good. We're all best buds. I feel like we've been playing for forever, but we just really met each other. But everything been good. The vibes is good, and we just ready to play.
15 starts for South Carolina. You started for South Carolina as a true freshman in the SEC. A true freshman starter in the SEC really got my attention. Why might that experience be important? Why is that experience important to you?
I'll say it's important to me because, like you said, I started 15 games as a freshman. I got all the experience, everybody I went against in the league. So it's just like, I could play ball.
How did it go? How did it go for you? What was that year like for you, trotting out there in the SEC as a young player?
It was fun. Since I was a young player, I made some mistakes, but it was a good time. Just had knowing somebody got your back and all the vets, and you just did, the young cat in that room. So it was pretty good.
Tree, what is your weight at right now, and are you primarily working at right tackle, or are they trying you some other spots too?
I already know too much, what they got planned for me right now. I could play left or right, so it really don't matter. My weight right now, I'm 340. Planning to get it down some more to my, my playing weight. But after the season, I just had too much fun, so it's time for me to lock back in.
I'm curious about the facilities, because you've been at an SEC program, you've been on a lot of recruiting trips. What is it? I mean, how does Nebraska stack up for, the training table, the day-to-day of facilities and amenities that you're offered here, and how much could that potentially help you down the road?
They have a lot. They have everything. Sauna room, red light, anything you really need, like all the injuries they got. It's like breaking down anything you need for that, that type of injury you got. They got everything. So it's just like them having all that stuff you could use to work in your body, and just also the strength staff just is amazing. They understand, they break it down, where you need to work at, do some flexibility, or come in during the weekend, do some extra stuff, just work on your body, take care of it.
What do you want to get out of your experience at Nebraska? You have 2 years to play at Nebraska. What do you want to get done here?
That's crazy. Somebody else just asked me that question not too long ago. One thing was, I'll say, try to win the Big Ten.
Okay.
That's a big, a high aim, but I feel like we could do it with all the guys we got in the room. And 2, just, of course, being Iowa. They told me about the rivalry and stuff, and I didn't really know too much about it until now. So gotta get that. And I'll probably say that's pretty much it right now.
Hey, Tree, what is the dynamic like with the quarterbacks? Obviously, Anthony came in from UNLV with 31 games starting experience. You've got TJ here that has played and started, and then Daniel Kalen, who's played a lot at Virginia. Give us an idea of what that's like, kind of dealing with these new quarterbacks and the dynamic you see with that group.
I'll say they push each other, just outside of like football and stuff. They really just try to help each other out. Everybody's learning. There's not like all this arguing. It's just, everybody's a brotherhood, so they try to learn from each other, just help each other out. And whoever, do their best gets to play. But the vibe's been good. Everybody's been good, and we just all having fun right now.
We don't know Jeep Wade, your O-line coach, because Tree, he's new here like you. Tell me a little bit about Jeep Wade, why you like that room with Jeep leading it.
I know you came from Georgia Tech, and I seen the things he did with Georgia Tech, and I was really, happy at how Georgia Tech, how they perform and stuff. I know they didn't, do what they plan to do, but Jeep, he did a pretty good job with that room. So just me, watching the film of how his linemen, how they play and stuff, I'm like, oh, it's pretty nice. And outside of football, GP, he a perfect guy. Not a perfect guy, but like he's amazing. If you need anything, you can always talk to him. If you need to talk, just saying hi. He always give you like a motivational text every morning, just making sure your head is right. And just like you said, if you always need somebody to talk to, you can always talk to him.
You guys will start spring ball, Tree, in less than 2 weeks. I'm curious, were you used to kind of doing an earlier spring ball like this at South Carolina? And what have been the workouts? I mean, what give us an idea of what that's like behind the scenes in terms of difficulty. Are you guys really pushing it hard, knowing that spring ball is just less than 2 weeks away?
Yes, spring ball is about to start. I'm actually excited about, playing ball now. I haven't played ball in a while. So, the weight room, we working hard. I'll say that. It kind of caught me off guard the first time I got on campus. I was like, well, hey, this workout is up tempo. So it's like everybody's up tempo, but attacking it. One man down, everybody help him up. It's like we just trying to build that brotherhood and that mental toughness. That's the one part we really trying to figure, do good at.
Was that those workouts? Those workouts that you jumped into immediately? Was that tougher than you experienced at South Carolina?
South Carolina, there was a lot of things we did. I think my first day I had in South Carolina, my freshman year, I had to push a sled.
Yeah.
And South Carolina, they get hot, so it was pretty hard. Over here, I'll just say really just the up tempo and how fast things move, and just how aggressive it is. That's pretty much it. I really say it's almost equal.
Okay.
Have you been able to experience much of Lincoln Tree? I mean, you got to a basketball game yet, or got out and about and just tried to take in? I mean, it's probably all happened so fast for you, but I'm sure it's been fun at the same time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was able to check out the game when the boys played. I think it was Illinois. They lost that game, but it was a good environment. Just seeing all the fans just going crazy. But I think they were saying this is the first time the boys have been like 20 and something. So it's like I forgot how long it was, but I was able to watch the game. It was a good game. Got some ballers. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was number 5. I forgot his name, but he could shoot that rock. So I was like,
yeah, he did. He was 6 for 12 from 3 that game.
Mm-hmm. He could shoot that rock. Him and I think it was 21, but I can't remember the top of my
Price.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they was all balling. Not really, been around Lincoln that much because with football and stuff. But I'll check some places. One of the guys put me on to a place called Seven Brew. Nice little
the coffee.
Yeah,
what is it?
Coffee, Seven Brew. Yeah. So it was a nice little drink spot, a little coffee or anything, basically like Starbucks, but I guess a little bit better. But yeah, it's nice.
You a coffee guy then?
Not really. More like they got different stuff. It's not really coffee, but they kind of.
So when you go to the training table, do they have you on like a pretty strict plan, or like what is for a 340-pound guy? What are they having you? What's the rules when you go in there to eat? Do they have certain things they want you not to eat versus eat?
It's really kind of they do. Just trying to. I got a diet, so it's just make sure you get this carbs, offensive protein, this that. Nothing like too crazy. I don't have enough free will to go get the burgers or something, so I can't touch no burgers. It's just veggies and steak or some chicken. So it's not bad. It's good.
So when February 21 comes and you trot out on the field, you played left tackle as a true freshman at South Carolina, and then this past year you played right tackle. Where do you want to be? Which one suits you the best?
I'll say right tackle because I'm used to it now, so I might as well just stay there because that's what I played last season.
Did you know Pritchett at all coming up the ranks when he was at Alabama, or just in the recruiting world at all?
Not really. I really didn't know too much about him until I think when I took my visit. That's when I met him in person. We talked. He was like, "Yeah, I'm from Alabama. Came from transferred from Alabama and stuff." And we just talked. I was like, "Oh, I didn't really know that." But me and Pritchett, we best buddies now.
Pritchett, I mean, he's a senior. He's the most talented guy in that line, probably coming back. What kind of impression has he made on you in terms of his work ethic in the weight room?
He worked hard. He attacks everything 100%. He's not really like a vocal leader. He just shows what he could do, and you just feed off the energy.
Who's the vocal leader of your group? Leaders.
I really say we got Justin, of course.
Justin.
I would say Tyler.
Knack.
Tyler. I would say Tyler. He really vocal. I think we got Bricks.
Grant Bricks, yep.
Grant Bricks.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but I can't remember the top of my head. I feel like I missed some, but that's like the main three right there that really speak the most. The rest, we just feed off energy. I'm not really a talk guy. I'm just I just show up and do work.
How about have you talked to Brendan Black and Paul Mubenga about their early experience here? They came in with you as portal guys.
Yeah, Paul Locker is literally right beside me, and Brandon Locker literally right beside me. So we talk every morning. It's kind of funny. Brandon comes from Iowa State, and Paul comes from LSU. We go at it because we played against each other, like 2 years ago? We played against each other 2 years ago and this last year. And we just be talking trash, and how I just be like, they're lucky, this, that, and the third. But we just go at it, me and Paul. But we all, like I said, we all best buds. We talk every day.
So you grew up in Maryland. I mean, who did you grow up following? Like, what sports, what teams did you, like, give us an idea of, like, what life was like for you before you got into college athletics?
Back then was, when it was Redskins back then, but now it's, the Commanders and stuff. But after that parted way, but Redskins went to the Seahawks back then. Then it was really between them two. I'm not really a Ravens fan. I'm really just player type team. But it was really I used to be a hooper.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I used to play ball a little. I was nothing fancy. I was a decent player. I knew I wasn't going to be one for basketball, so I picked up the cleats.
How good is we hear all about the DMV and the basketball out there. I mean, just growing up around that, I'm sure you probably got asked to play a lot of basketball when you were the biggest kid around for a number of years.
Yep.
What was that like in terms of just the day-to-day toughness that guys probably had playing on the basketball court out there?
It was fun. Like you said, up north, we got hoopers. Everybody that I know right now hooping. In college, I think some in the league right now. But that's all the people I grew up with. Everybody's doing their own thing. Some people's doing football now. Some people's doing basketball. So we got ballers.
When I think of the DMV ballers, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Is he one? You follow him at all?
Yeah, I did. The great part, I played for his AAU team.
What was that? What AAU team was that?
It was Team Durant. That was
Team Durant.
Team Durant.
Yeah.
Did you play in that when you were like a 16 or 17 or?
I'm trying to remember the top of my. I was a little bit younger. I think I was still. I don't know if it was like around middle school-ish, kind of. I can't remember the top of my head, but it was them. I was supposed to play for Team Takeover, but that didn't happen. Then there was another team called, I think, New World. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Then some football coach got to you and say, Tree, you could make a lot more money playing football.
So the first coach I ever had, he was coaching football. And where I live at, there was a football field like down the street. Like I could just walk down that hill and football is right there. So I remember I forgot how old I was, but I was tall, lengthy kid, walked down. He asked for my age. I said my age, and he was like, ain't no way. He thought I was a grown man because I was so tall. But thanks to him, I started playing football. That's why I call him my uncle. He not really my uncle, but he's so close that he like helped me out. But yeah, after that I played football. Then he was like, try basketball. I tried basketball out. At basketball, I was like, oh, this ain't too bad. But in my heart, I knew, football was it. But I had my fun with basketball,
Do you think?
For a little while.
Do you think that was junior high? You think you're in junior high when you were walking down that hill? Grade school?
I know I have a picture on my phone. I don't remember the date off the top of my head right now.
You were young though.
Yeah, I was young. Yeah.
You were a kid.
Yeah, I was like, would I say? I would say 6th grade.
Okay.
I think that was really the first time I played ball. Yeah.
How big were you? Were like in 6th grade? Out of curiosity.
I was like 6. I think like 6'1", 6'2", around that age.
When did you get the name Tree?
I got it from him.
Oh, really? Really? That's the guy, huh?
Yep.
What was his name?
His name's James Bell, but I call him Uncle Bell. He got 3, 4 kids? I can't remember. But they all grown up now. I grew around that circle with them, so they was really like, older brothers to me and stuff, and we just helped each other out.
And now you're in Nebraska, of all places.
Yeah.
Well, Tree, I know your schedule's really busy, and we appreciate you and your team setting up the time to take some time to talk with us here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tree. That was great. That was great.
Looking forward to seeing you at spring ball here in a couple weeks. And thanks again to Tree Babalade for joining us here on Husker Online Headlines. Before we take it to headline 3, Husker Online Headlines brought to you by who?
Oh, we're going to do Larson Motors, Sean. It's time to sell some cars in Nebraska City via Husker Online. If you're looking for a new vehicle, and I think people get the itch because it's 60 degrees out there right now, how about going for a new experience on the lot at Larson Motors in Nebraska City? Larson Motors is one of the Midwest's only dealerships with all of the major brands in one location. Walk that lot, finding your new Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. It's never been easier. So start your new experience today at LarsonMotorGroup.com. Remember that, LarsonMotorGroup.com, or just go to Larson Motors in Nebraska City. Larson Motors, real people,
real deals. Well, let's get into headline 3. And boy, Tree was a great guest to have on, and just
that
get
was
to know him. And my headline for 3 is, let's project the 2026 offensive line just from what we learned from Tree Babalade. But just a very kind, nice. I mean, I enjoy talking to.
We got some interesting information. For instance, Pritchett leading by example in the weight room is a good sign. He went through some guys who lead vocally, probably guys you'd kind of expect. Tyler Knack. Who else did he say? He said Grant Bricks, which that was a name you maybe wouldn't have expected. Justin Evans, you would expect that.
Tyler
right?
Knack.
Yeah, Tyler Knack.
And, you don't hear Gunnar Gatula's name because he's coming off of injury. So you wonder what his regiment looks like.
Yeah, you do. You wonder that. Also, interesting information that those 3 transfers, those 3 big transfers they brought in, Brendan Black, Paul Mbenga from LSU, and Tree Babalade from South Carolina, lockers 3 in a row.
Well, and you get the sense, even just the combination of that group, but particularly Tree and even Mbenga, for Pritchett to have another kind of 2 other SEC transfer guys.
100.
I mean, like they feel more comfortable, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Coming into a new culture, a new place.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, we're not handing out, Sean and I are not handing out starting positions here, but it's, where we're going with this. They bring in these guys. When they bring in a Mbenga from LSU and a Babalade from South Carolina, you figure they bring them in to start, right?
Look, the famous speed to power Michigan game cannot ever happen again.
100.
And
100.
We
sat up there and watched that, Sean, and it made a big impression on you. How that line caved in repeatedly.
They had enough in other areas to beat Michigan, but not those areas.
No. That made an impression on everybody.
And, when you look at what they've done, well, first of all, Pritchett wasn't on the field for the Michigan game.
Right. But Pritchett got good.
Right.
Pritchett got good at the end of the year. He had a great stretch run to where I've said it before, but I thought in the bowl game, he was the second best player on the field behind their Devin Dampier, Utah's quarterback. Did I get his first name right, by the way?
You look at the right tackle spot with what they lost, Gatula being hurt, they had to get somebody to come in.
Yep.
And you look at Tree Babalade as possibly the right tackle.
Start right there. Tree Babalade. I think he could be your right tackle. Now, right guard, Brendan Black.
Brendan Black.
Now, he played right guard.
Which is where Rocco Spindler played.
Yeah. Brendan played at Iowa State. He would make sense. Center, Justin Evans. Huge piece to this whole puzzle. Justin Evans, if you're going to name 5 of the most important players on the roster, Evans would be 100% in the top 5. And maybe you could nudge him to about 2 or 3. Left guard.
Probably Paul Menga.
Yeah.
Based on his background and where he comes in. Now, the other guys that would be in contention, Gatula, obviously, when he comes back.
Yeah, go to left tackle, Pritchett. Who do you think would back up Pritchett right now?
Probably Knack.
Knack or Tamua.
Or Preston Talmua. I think it's probably one of those deals where you have a guy that could play both sides. I mean, you don't have a straight backup. You have probably
Could be Gunner.
Gunner
Gatula. Left guard backup, Sledge.
Yeah, I think Sledge factors in at any of the interior. He could be a center as well.
Yeah. I had center maybe backup Jake Peters as the backup. Jake Peters I think he's been sort of earmarked at center at times. Now, Rule might be watching us going, you guys.
Gibson Pyle's another name that needs to be discussed.
Inside?
Well, Gibson Pyle was a backup left guard.
So he's inside.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, like I say, right tackle could be Gatula back up. Or Gatula maybe wins the job. I
look at, Gatula and Knack as kind of, and then possibly Talmua. Those are the 3 guys that could play tackle. But Knack and Gatula could play guard too. So right. I don't know if you just have, he's the backup for him. He's the backup for him. I think it's going to be a pool of about 3 players that could puzzle in anywhere.
So when I write the spring football intel, I should frame it up that way. We do those intel.
I would just do a projected starting 5 and then other contenders.
Yeah. At guard and tackle.
And like have other contenders, because I don't think it's as straight, because we don't know anything about Sean Hammerbeck. We don't know anything about Juju Marks, like where they could,
we really don't know much about. I mean, Bricks could play guard or tackle, apparently, right? Yeah.
There's a lot there.
How do you think? Do you think they got enough there?
Well, the starting 5, I think, is solid. You've got basically 3 former SEC starters that could be on that starting 5. One from LSU, one from Alabama, one from South Carolina. Another starter from Iowa State, and then your own home cooked one in Justin Evans. Yep. So you've got 5 guys that are like, when you break down, I saw the statistic, and I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but Nebraska evidently has the most returning snap experience on the offensive line of any team in the country. When you add up the snaps of all those players.
You got to be kidding me.
Well, Black, look at it. Black, right. Pritchett.
Yeah.
Pritchett's been a 3-year starter.
Yeah.
Evans has been a 2-year starter.
Yep.
Black has been a 2-3-year starter.
Yeah.
And Banga's played starting. I mean, so
Babalade started 15 games.
So you've got everybody on that O-line has started at least 2 years of Power 4 football.
I think Babalade's 15 starts would be the fewest of all those guys.
And then you've got Gatula, who's played and started a lot. You've got Knack, who's played some. So you have 7 guys that have played and started Power 4 football.
That should bode well, right? Right?
You would hope. And what's the formula now in college basketball and college football?
Get old and stay old.
Correct. And that's what they're doing. I mean, the days of just trying to find 18-year-olds and put them out there, it's just not how you win right now.
No. And especially up front, Sean. Especially up front. You got to have old dudes up there.
And there's the rare exception of these elite freshmen like Jackson Cantwell. But we'll
see if Cantwell.
We'll see how much he plays. Yeah. David Sanders, Jackson Cantwell, Brandon Baker. I mean, those are like the guys that people are going to go after as the 5-star freshman. But
took Baker a second, though, right?
He redshirted.
Yeah.
But he started this year. So, all right. Well, good discussion. Thanks again to Tree. Let's take it now to headline 4. Another heavyweight matchup awaits Nebraska basketball on Tuesday night. The Huskers come in at number 7 in the updated AP poll. They're up 2 spots. Michigan's at number 2 from the Big Ten, followed by Nebraska. Illinois dropped to 8. Michigan State's at 10. Purdue will come into Pinnacle Bank Arena ranked number 13, and that's where it stops for the Big Ten Conference right now. They have those teams all ranked, nobody else in the latest AP poll, but this is kind of their last really tough test in terms of a highly ranked team on the schedule.
Yeah, and Purdue comes off. It's very, very, it's very important to mention that Purdue, it was all Purdue could do to hold off Oregon this weekend. Okay, Oregon's terrible. And Oregon had them.
At Oregon, right?
I was at Purdue.
Oh, it was at Purdue.
Double check. But I'm pretty sure it was at Mackey. So even if it was at Oregon, my point stands. They're fighting off Oregon. That's not a confidence boost heading into this hornet's nest.
Yeah, it was at Purdue. You're right.
Says the Homer writer. Not the beat writer. Robin's the beat writer, but that bodes well for Nebraska. The trip to Rutgers bodes well for Nebraska because they got Rink going. How many times last week did you hear this? Nebraska's in good shape, but they got to get Rink going. They got to get Rink going. You heard it 100, like it was talking about the weather. Like it's just a stock phrase. Got to get Rink going. Well, they got him going.
Yeah, the little one-handed hook shots and things.
Jump hook.
That wasn't there previously, the last couple games.
They went inside to him a lot. The offense ran through Rink at Rutgers, and he ended up with 26 points, 8 rebounds. He had a great game. He only shot 4 3-pointers, made one of them, his first one, but was money in the paint and made a lot of Rink. What I like about Rink is he makes a lot of good decisions. He doesn't do notice that he doesn't do stupid stuff very often. He doesn't always make his shots. He went through a slump this year, but he doesn't take a lot of bad shots and make a bunch of dumb decisions.
That wasn't by any means like an A performance by Nebraska. I
didn't think so
either. They played probably a B level, and they still won comfortably.
It was more than enough.
More than enough, and there are a couple little cute runs Rutgers would make, but you never got worried about it.
Mm-mm. I think you assessed it really well. That wasn't Nebraska's A game. They didn't. Frager didn't play that well.
Frager didn't hit a shot, like a perimeter shot, really of note, and Price missed some perimeter shots he normally would have made.
Yeah, Frager was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line, 2 for 10 from the floor. Not a good game. He's obviously we love him. He's a very valuable player, but just didn't have a very good game.
He took a couple of like uncharacteristic Nebraska shots too, like
kind of out of system. 100. You did watch the game. Yeah, he did.
I watch every game.
He took some out of system shots for sure.
That were like kind of more like,
hey,
you're supposed to kind of keep moving the ball around.
Yeah.
He decided to shoot it. But I like, it's a long road trip to Rutgers, but it was an 11 a.m. Central Time tip. So they got back early. They were back by early Saturday evening. So they're going to be plenty rested at home. It's an interesting tip-off, though. This is a 6 p.m. game.
I know. It's great. I love it. That means I'm going. I'm not going to 8 o'clock.
Like for people like getting down to Lincoln, and that extra hour or two on a Tuesday is, you got rush hour traffic kind of mixed with game day traffic.
Yeah, it'll be challenged.
So, that place will be packed, but give yourself some extra time to get down here.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge. Back to the Rutgers game. Sam played really well. Sam was, he's so important to that operation. He had 13 points, 5 assists, uncharacteristic. When he has 2 turnovers, it's news. It's sort of like he doesn't turn the ball over. 7 rebounds. He was great. In fact, he and Mast were clearly the stars of that show. But you're right. They got to bring a little bit more. They took care of business, though. And what I'd say about this Nebraska team, that one of the best ways to put it is, in terms of my appreciation for them, is you don't worry about them. I just don't worry about them. Like people are saying, SIP, 11 a.m. tip, long road trip. I don't worry about them. They're pros.
I loved it as a road team playing at 11 noon out there, because the place is a little bit sleepier.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, that's how they went out to Indiana. Same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone in Hoosier country was watching the football game the night before, and they went in there and just pounced on Indiana.
Yeah.
They didn't pound. They had to come back. But, I just love I thought that was a good draw for Nebraska to play Rutgers early, get out of there, get back. You're not playing a night game, getting home at 2 a.m. or some crazy thing like that. So that's been a nice break. And now they're going to be home a lot. Mm-hmm. All they have left are 3 road games, Iowa and the California trip.
I'm just telling you, Sean, they beat Purdue and that 2 seed is back on the table.
Well, right now they're projected as a 2 in the latest bracketology reports. But
it's on the table.
I think what Nebraska fans really want is Oklahoma City.
A 1 seed?
Well, no.
Did you go to Oklahoma City as a 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a top
sorry.
Come on, common sense here. If you're a top 2 or 3 seed, even a top 4 seed, you get geographical preference.
Please God, Oklahoma City.
But
please,
you got competition. So Michigan's probably going to go to Buffalo because that's only like a 5.5-hour drive from Ann Arbor. Iowa State and Illinois, and Houston, and Nebraska, and Kansas. There's 5 teams right there that all make sense for. Well, Illinois is going to go to St. Louis.
Yeah, Illinois goes to St. Louis.
So that makes
Iowa State might go to St. Louis
or Oklahoma, but Houston makes sense for OKC.
Yeah,
Nebraska makes sense for OKC.
Get a 2 and go to Oklahoma City.
Now, Kansas makes some sense for both those places. So, Nebraska is going to have to continue to play strong to get a regional preference.
Nebraska wins out, it'll be a 1.
Yeah, that's a big if though.
Yeah,
they have to play Iowa twice.
Yeah,
Iowa's kind of been a pain. Like they haven't played anybody but they just keep winning, and they got a good coach.
As you've mentioned, that West Coast trip is a little tricky too,
and they swept it. Iowa went out and swept Washington and Oregon on the road.
Oh, what I'm talking about is Nebraska. What I'm talking about is Nebraska going to USC and UCLA. That's tricky. Those teams aren't great, but they're good enough to beat you.
They have good athletes.
Yeah.
Like when you watch USC, you're like, whoa.
Yep. And those are tricky games.
And obviously Ben Holland. Not Ben Holland.
Ben Holland. There's a name.
Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin. Ben Holland. Wrong UCLA. Mick Cronin is a hassle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so is a coach at USC who you love. You love that coach.
Musselman.
Yeah, you love him.
I remember watching him when I was like in 6th grade.
Omaha Racers.
He coached the Rapid City Thrillers
and
the Florida Beach Dogs.
That was in what league?
The CBA. Eric Olson had
people right now are going, what are you guys talking about?
Omaha had a G League team, which was the CBA back then. But Eric Olson was the beat writer for the World Herald back then. He told me a story once that like the team bus left Musselman after a game, and Olson just gave him a ride to his hotel. And then years later, at like an NCAA regional when Musselman was at Nevada, maybe not even Arkansas yet, he remembered Olson. He's like, how do I know you?
Is that right?
Yeah,
is that right? Yeah. Oh, I gave you a ride one time. That's amazing.
To get to your hotel.
That's amazing.
You would have loved the CBA. Now,
well, I remember it, and I remember going to Exarban. They played at Exarban. Remember that arena they had?
I was a ball boy.
So I don't know if I went to a game, but I feel like I was there on the court for something when they were setting up. I don't think I ever saw them play.
I put my name in a drawing at a Quick Shop to be a ball boy.
And you won.
And I won.
Which Quick Shop? Do you remember? I'm familiar with Omaha South.
30th and Q.
Yeah. Hello.
30th and Q Quick Shop. Landed me a gig to be a ball boy for the Racers.
Good gig.
I ran into Mike Tebow at the
coach,
the former Racers coach, who is the WNBA all-time winningest coach. And he knew about my story of being a ball boy. He's like, that's the rumor. He had heard that I had done that before because Coach T lived in Omaha a long time.
Was that Tim Legler playing on that team?
Jim Less, Tim Legler, Bart Kofod. You had some really good players.
Those 3 all played
at different times. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Were you a ball boy when Legler was there?
It was less.
Okay.
I think Legler was already in the NBA.
Okay.
He moved up from there, but Jim Less won the championship.
We are talking about G League Omaha Racers today.
I went to a playoff game in the Quad Cities and in Sioux Falls when I was an 8th grader.
On the bus.
My parents let me go on the bus alone with a friend.
Those were different times.
And we went to Sioux Falls, and I remember the bus made a pit stop at the casino for the people on the bus to go to one of those Indian reservation casinos on I-29. And I wasn't old enough to go in the casino.
You weren't allowed.
So my friend and I just stayed in the bus.
Sat in the bus.
Better times.
He just snuck in. We better get to another headline.
Right.
I could do this for a half hour.
No, we reminiscing on the CBA. Yeah. Kevin Cougar was the play-by-play guy.
Good Lord.
Headline 5, odds and ends. Let's lead it off here. North Dakota State to the Mountain West Conference.
Oh, yes.
I love this, and I think it makes perfect sense. I think the Mountain West hits a home run here because if you're asking me over the next 4 or 5 years, who's going to be on top of that league? UNLV, Wyoming. You go through some of the other teams in that.
Well, here's the league, okay? How about you do it this way? Because people don't know what the New Look Mountain West is. The New Look Mountain West is San Jose State, Air Force, Nevada, New Mexico, UNLV, Wyoming, Hawaii, UTEP, Northern Illinois, and the 10th team now is North Dakota State. So you feel like they can go in there and do what? North Dakota State?
Make a push and win the league.
Really? Not just middle of the pack?
No, I mean, look, they've gone into Iowa State and beaten Iowa State. They've gone into Kansas State and beaten Kansas State. You look at just the history of their program, and nobody will play them anymore.
Well, they've won 10 of the last 15 FCS championships. 10 of the last 15.
Like it got to the point, like I remember when they went to Iowa State in that run, like they were expected to win in Ames. They went into Iowa and beat Iowa.
Right.
And so now you give them more scholarships, numbers, and they've got fan support. That's the key. Like you look at them compared to some of those other programs, they have consistent fan support that's going to be hungry. And when you see James Madison make the playoff, well, North Dakota State dominated James Madison when they were in the FCS. They're like, why can't we do this?
You love this.
Well, I think it adds a lot more intrigue and a brilliant move by the Mountain West.
And by North Dakota State.
And North Dakota State. It's going to cost $12 million.
You got to pay $12 million to the Mountain West and $5 million to the NCAA.
Is that so? It's 17. I thought it was 12 total, so it's 17 total.
Yeah, they pay $12 million to the conference. For some reason, $5 million to the NCAA.
And they could end up being one of the best football brands in that conference.
You are convinced of that. Would you say that if it was the Mountain West of last year that had Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, and Utah State, would you say it as confidently? No.
I'll say this. Look at the draft.
Okay.
Look how many players North Dakota State's had drafted compared to those other programs. I mean, you go down the line of players. They had 2 players drafted in 25, 2 and 20, or 1 and 23. I mean, they consistently have, multiple. They've had multiple years with multiple draft picks. So there's not a lot of other Mountain West teams that have had the high draft picks either. They've had legit first and second rounders. I mean, the starting tackle for the Seahawks, Gray Zabel, was a first rounder from North Dakota State.
You have me pretty convinced, Sean.
Cody Mock from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, second round pick the year in 2023. You go down the line, they've had multiple years of guys picked pretty high.
This starts in 2026 this year.
Right away. So they have a schedule, but it makes you wonder, like, South Dakota State, would the invitation be there even for them? Could they afford to do it?
Right. So, yeah, you do. You wonder right away, what about those other powers in that region?
Montana State. I mean, that's where I stop. Those 4 have the fan bases and the tradition and the rosters, I think, to compete.
Montana State, South Dakota State.
Those are the ones that make sense. And they would pull some numbers at that level.
Yeah.
I mean, more people are going to watch those teams in San Jose State.
Mountain West is at 10, so they could expand. They could keep going.
But yeah, North Dakota State's going to have to find some new non-conference games.
Interesting story. And you look at this too as significant from a recruiting standpoint.
Yeah, now I'm looking at it like, all right, they're going to be viable even more to come into a place like Nebraska to recruit high school talent.
That's wonderful.
They already have been viable, but they have a leg up. Like, they're at the same level as Wyoming now.
Yep.
And that used to be like a Wyoming or Ohio. Well, we're FBS.
It's significant.
So
same as Nevada, same as, yeah, that's a situation, Sean.
So this could be one, like, think about like when Marshall moved up.
Yeah.
They were a power with Randy Moss. They moved up and, they haven't been as good as of late, but like we've seen, like James Madison as a team did
make the playoff.
Yeah, make the play.
Tulane make the playoff.
Was Liberty ever FCS? I don't know the backstory of how or when they started.
I don't know. But you like North Dakota State right now over Tulane on a neutral?
I'm waiting for Michael Severe to text me as we talk about this, but I mean, some of the better North Dakota State teams, I would take them against some of those teams.
I got you. I'm just asking.
I mean, they went into Iowa City and beat Iowa.
Yeah. All right, let's keep rolling.
All right, let's move it on. Other odds and ends. Husker softball beats number 1 ranked Texas. They split 2 with them. They split 2 with Washington.
Confusion on that front. I didn't know Jordy is now Jordy Fromm. I kept reading these reports about this Jordy Fromm, and I'm like, wait a second, they got a new pitcher? Nope, that's Jordy Ball. She just got married. Did you know that?
I didn't realize that.
Gotcha. I didn't either. I was reading the stories. I'm like, who's Jordy Fromm? She's good. She's prominent. It's Jordy Ball.
Jordine Ball, as you would say.
Yeah, she got married.
But yeah, Nebraska softball is going to load up that schedule. They play 6 more SEC games and also Texas Tech. So Texas was the national champions. They split with them. They played national runner-up here, Texas Tech, I believe this upcoming week. But they have 6 more SEC games plus Texas Tech remaining in the non-conference.
Jeez. Rhonda's obviously very confident.
She's trying to get a resume to host not just a regional, a super regional.
Right.
Because your ticket to get to OKC is you got to host. I mean, imagine if we hosted a super regional here.
Yeah.
It'd be different.
Abby will be just like, she'll be peacocking around that stadium.
She'd have to cancel whatever summer wedding she has to stay back for that.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. Wrestling gets a sweep. They shut out Northwestern. So we'll see where that goes. AJ Ferrari, it was technically his senior day, but I guess he'll be applying for a waiver to try to come back.
Okay.
So we'll see where that all goes.
Good. Did what you probably expect in hammering away at Northwestern.
I'm a little women's hoops lost again.
Yes.
And what's your level of concern there? Because
that they'd make the tournament?
I mean, yeah, it just has a bad feel right now. They've lost several in a row here.
How much? 6 in a row to ranked teams, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're kind of in a lull. Like they lost the game on the road to Wisconsin that they probably should have won, and then they've lost all these tough games in a row.
I'm not qualified to discuss it at a high level, but yeah, I mean, I probably expected a little bit more from them this year. That's a question for Abby on Wednesday.
Well, considering they started out 12 or 13-0,
yeah,
and they may not make the tourney.
Well, that's a tough league. Maryland's a tough team. Maryland's a traditionally tough program. I mean, you were talking about it with Tree. I mean, that basketball discussion probably applies to the women's side. When I think about Washington, D.C., the DMV, I think hoops. That's strong hoops country. God, how about nailing that Kevin Durant thing? He played for Team Durant. When I think of DMV, when I think of Washington, D.C., I think of Kevin Durant. He was the.
Do you know what DMV stands for? It's really simple. D.C., Maryland, Virginia.
Got it.
I just wanted to educate you there because I could tell you didn't even know 100%.
You read me really well, which scares me. Okay.
It's not where you get your driver's license at.
The DMV. Yeah, go there tomorrow. What else? Snorted. What else?
I knew you didn't know what it meant. I'm like,
you just snorted.
I'm saying DMV, and you're talking. You're like, I don't even think Simple knows what DMV stands for.
One more odds and ends. Then we'll get
final odds and ends. Kenneth Walker made me think back. He looked incredible, and it made me think back to that horrible night in East Lansing in 2021 when Mel Tucker's Peach Bowl winning squad faced a buzzsaw on Nebraska's defense. They held Kenneth Walker to his worst yards per carry game of the year, 3.2 yards per carry. He had like 62 yards on, what was it? I wrote this
down.
Did
he get anything in the second half?
So Michigan State didn't have a single first down the entire second half. Not one. And it just made you realize, wow, like that was what, Sue's game in 2009 against Texas was maybe the all-time wasted greatest defensive performance. But Holding Kenneth Walker to what Nebraska did and not winning that game in East Lansing against a very good Michigan State team, that would rank up there for me.
Because largely of a punt that missed its mark by 30 yards, where we saw it as plain as day because we're way above in a press box, and I'm standing by you, and I said, Sean, that return man has nobody in front of him. And there he goes.
Yeah, 19 carries for Kenneth Walker, just 3.2 yards per carry, his lowest yards per carry of the year, the 2021 Doak Walker winner.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. In the NFL, he's an outside zone demon. He runs an outside zone as well as you'll ever see.
He hits it.
Oh, yeah. He's big. You see him, that thick body, but they're talking about on the broadcast how fast he is. Like Collinsworth was talking on the broadcast that he and Tarico were at practice, and they're like, whoa, that is speed. And some of the players were saying, yeah, it surprises us sometimes. He's a big, thick running back, but when he gets rolling, it's kind of like Ricky Williams. Remember how big Ricky Williams was? But when he got rolling, it was hello.
Final year of the contract for him too. So
yeah, he's a free.
He's going to get paid.
Yeah. Can Seattle keep him?
I would sure hope so. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No.
I mean, you would think that, I don't know.
That guy, one of their guys was hurt. Was it Charbonnet? Their other running back was hurt. I don't know. We'll see on that. God, you'd think he would get paid by Seattle.
Yeah, it'd be hard to let go of the Super Bowl MVP.
I would think so.
But yeah, he has solidified himself as maybe the best up and coming back in the NFL. I
have to look at that. But he was certainly looked good last night in that game. Seattle. He was one of the few kind of impressive performances.
I mean, yeah, you have Saquon Barkley and these, but I'm talking about younger backs emerging in the league. Jeremiah Love will be interesting when he gets in the league, what he'll do.
Yes. Oh, that will be interesting because he looks like a tailor-made NFL
Some
back.
of the mock drafts, I think the Chiefs go at 9. There's some that have the Chiefs taking him at 9.
That would make sense. They need that. Would he last that long is the question.
Well, a lot of people don't want to spend a high pick on a running back.
Right. You might get Love.
I'd take him.
Yeah. No, that'd be perfect.
We take him.
The Chiefs need somebody like that.
All right. Well,
that was fun, Sean.
We got Husker basketball Tuesday, and then
we got Wednesday show.
Robin will be back in Wednesday, and we'll get a full breakdown of that. And the Huskers are home on Valentine's Day against Northwestern.
Yeah, and I think is that alumni weekend?
Yeah, that's the big
to do
players weekend or alumni weekend.
Seems like they might get Lou back here. I've heard.
There you go.
Hi, Lou.
All right. Well, for Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan. Thanks again to Tree Babalade and joining us here on Husker Online Headlines.